Hello everybody, welcome back to the Farming Simulator 25 map guide. Today we're going to take a look at Polanki. But before that, this video is brought to you by Nigel Lindecote and Farmer Ben. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Polanki map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Now this is a standard size map, and while the map itself is 184 megabytes, this map does have 5 required mods. So if you factor in those required mods, we're looking at a total download size of approximately 300 megabytes. Let me read you some of the description. Welcome to Polanki. This is a fictional map with a European feel. On the map, you'll find 2 farms. So one of those farms is going to be a cow farm. That's your starting farm. And the second farm is going to be a pig farm. There are several cell stations, 6 to be exact, 158 farmlands, 153 fields, including 17 meadows, 6 forests, a machine shop, a village with NPCs, road and pedestrian traffic, and as I mentioned, this is a standard size map. The required mods include the simple pallet workshop, buying slurry, manure, and lime, the old grain mills, small biogas plant, and the buildings package. Let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA, and this map has a 100% Polish style feel to it with these long, narrow, and rectangular fields. And as such, you're going to be able to easily merge a lot of these fields together by doing very little work, maybe cutting down 1 or 2 trees that might be in between these fields. So if you're someone that likes larger, more square fields, you will be able to achieve that result on this map very, very easily by simply cutting a few trees and doing a couple plow passes in order to merge those fields together. We do have all of our standard crops available to us in Farm Sim 25 on this particular map. And as far as our starting land, well, we start up by owning farmland ID 41. That is the main starting farm with cows, and that is going to be buyable if you select to not own the farm for $30,400. In addition, we own farmland 44, which can be bought for $36,480, and farmland ID 23, which can be bought for $46,464. As far as other things to note on this map, well, we have a second farm, and that second farm can be located right here at farmland ID 2, and we can buy that for $131,200. That is going to include a pig area. We also have 2 productions on this map. We have to buy the land before we will see the productions listed in our menu system. There is a mill at farmland ID 158. We can buy that for $38,000. And there is a biogas plant at farmland ID 157, which we can buy for $119,000. Now we've gone ahead and picked those up. Let's go ahead and take a look at our crop counter. We do have the standard base game crop counter available on this map. Now I really wish Giants would have provided us multiple crop counters for each of their starting maps, because I feel that this map likely used Zielonka as its base. And as such, we have 50 collectibles that are the golden apples. So we could have had a crop counter that was similar to the crop counter on Zielonka if Zielonka had its own unique calendar. Instead, we get the same calendar that we pretty much have seen with every single map released to date, and likely we'll see probably for about who knows how long. At least 80% of the maps, or 90%, I should say, the maps released in Farm Sim 22 had the exact same crop counter. It really is a shame that we don't get more variety there. With respect to our animals, in neither farm, cows or pigs, do we have any animals at the start. We do have contracts available. They do include the newer FS25 contracts with dead wood, transport, and stone picking. And as I mentioned, if you buy the 2 lands that have the productions, you'll have these listed here in your menu. If you do not buy them, they will not be listed under available either. Our flour mill is going to be able to produce flour and canola oil, olive oil, and sunflower oil. And then we have a fairly standard biogas plant. As I mentioned, we have 6 different sell points scattered around the map. And should you choose to own the farm, then you will also have your starting fleet. If you choose to not own the farm at the start, then you will not have any vehicles when you start either. We have selected to own the farm, so our starting fleet includes the FarmTech EDK 650 trailer, the CrossMax 300 disc, the Eco Cultivator 300. We have the Mini Air Nova Rigid, and that is going to be our vegetable planter for carrots, parsnips, red beets, and spinach. We have a small Massey Ferguson 5709S tractor. We have our Massey Ferguson 8570 harvester, header, and header trailer. We have the Pondra Servo 25 plow, the Salak RZK 300H fertilizer spreader, and the Zetor Proxima HS80 small tractor. We do not have any hand tools at the start, and as I mentioned, we do have those 50 Golden Apple collectibles. Now, with respect to our starting farm here, we have our farmhouse located right here at the start. And we do have the ability to delete all of the buildings that are here on both farms. So regardless of which farm you start with at the start, you will have the ability to clear this whole area and build something out that you prefer. For our cows, we can have a total of 20 cows in our barn. And we do have our milk trigger located right there. Inside, we'll of course have our food and straw triggers. And then on the other side of the building, we will have then a trigger also for slurry. Now this building, we have little trigger markers showing us all the various doors that we can open. So we have another little kind of office or apartment here. And then next door, we're going to be able to come into this hallway and make our way inside of a workshop. So we do have a maintenance trigger located inside of here. And then we have another maintenance trigger located on the side of the building. Then we have another nice little shed here where we have other machinery located. Now let's go ahead and jump here into the shop. This map does not have any custom vehicles or implements. And I want to also just jump over here to Farm 2, a little bit more toward the middle of the map. And from here, well, we do have our second farm. So we have our sleep trigger. We have a nice storage shed. Another nice storage shed, and then we have our pig barn. All right, so we have our food trough here. We have our pig point where we can put 25 pigs inside. And then we have additional storage here for other machinery. And that is basically both farms that are available on this map. And both farms can be completely sold, including fences and gates. Let's get a little bit of altitude here, and we can just kind of take a look around. You will find that there are some utility lines running through the fields. When I tested those, the utility lines do not have collisions, or the power towers, as I like to say. They do not have collisions. So you shouldn't have any issues with driving machinery straight through those, or just having your hired helpers go straight through those. As I mentioned in the intro, this is a Polish style map, and as such we have long rectangular shaped fields, and we don't have super dense trees between these fields. So merging these fields will be very, very easy. Directly below we have our starting farm, just to give you a frame of reference as to where we are. Kind of start here in the northwest corner of the map. And I have to say, I really, really like how this map is set up. I like the rolling hills on the fields. I like the shapes of the fields, the orientations of the fields and the roads. To that extent, let's go ahead and kind of tour around the map, taking a look at our sell points and our productions. First production we're going to come to here is going to be our mill. Right here at the northern edge of the map. And I think the map author has done a very good job with respect to the map edge. It doesn't end right here. It does extend a little bit further beyond our overall visible range. So here we have the flour mill, right? So we have our interactive icon at the door. We have our dump point here at the side. Then we're going to have our pallet spawn point here on this side. Kind of to the southeast of the mill, we have 3 sell points. We have a grain sell point located right here. Behind this building, we have another sell point located right there. And that particular sell point is going to be named the dairy. And then we have the farmer's market sell point that is going to be located over here beside this building. And that's going to be for bales and other products as well. Then we have what I kind of call Main Street here. This main drag where we have most of our houses. And this is where we're going to find several of our NPCs. Here we have our animal dealer, where we're going to be able to purchase our animals. And that's also happens to be where Kate hangs out. Here we have our pig farm, just as a frame of reference. And then here we have a workshop. So we have a dealer trigger located here. And this is where Ben hangs out. Make your way back over here to the west. Here we have a dump point for selling of manure. As I mentioned, right, these power towers, they do not have collisions. Now, the trees and things around the towers do, but the towers themselves, we can just walk straight through. Making our way over here, we're going to come to our biogas plant. The biogas plant has 2 pull-through silage bunkers. And we have our digester. We have our interactive icon. We have our digestate output. And over here we have our dump point to basically sell our slurry, or put our slurry into our BGA. But here we have another sell point, kind of located here at these apartments. And then across the street from that, we have our vehicle shop. So if we come in here and pick up a small vehicle, we'll see where our vehicles are going to spawn directly in front of another dealer maintenance trigger, or a shop trigger. Not the largest area here for our new vehicles to spawn at, but again, our fields predominantly are pretty small. I'd say this map is going to be probably ideal for small to medium sized machinery. This isn't your Nexat map. No. While you won't have any trouble driving the Nexat around, it's not going to be your Nexat map. No. There's plenty of other maps for something that size. As I mentioned, we also then have our dealer trigger located here in the front. Around the side, we have a serviceable wheel loader. So we do have the ability to make use of this wheel loader. And then around the back, we also have our stone crusher. And we have a lime buy point. While we make our way up the eastern edge of the map, I just kind of want to turn to the side and just kind of look across the map. You can really get a good sense for how the fields kind of ebb and flow. The terrain elevation changes here. It's one of the reasons why I really like how this map is set up. And if I wasn't already preoccupied with a different map at this point, I would probably be really, really looking to possibly move to this map for my own gameplay. And then here we have our final set of sell points. We have a wood sell point here. We have another grain sell point located right there. And then we're going to be able to purchase fuel right here. And that should pretty much cover everything that is available on this map. As far as performance goes, I did test this map on my low-powered system, which is using AMD integrated graphics, using specifically the 780M graphics chipset, set to run at a TDP, or a total system power, of 40 watts. And using that power rating and using the 780M integrated graphics, I would get frame rates anywhere between the mid-30s to 50. And what that meant is, to my eyes, once we factor in frame generation, I was seeing anywhere between 70 to 100 plus FPS on this map playing on that system. So you should get very good performance on just about anything that you try to play this map on with respect to Farm Sim 25. And that's why I also think this is a really great map for just about anybody other than those that are really, really going to be playing with the Nexat once that does release here early next week. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below with respect to this specific map. Is it something you're looking to jump into and play on? Is it something that you're already playing on? And I'm pretty sure we had a map by this name released in Farm Sim 22, possibly even for Farm Sim 19. Now, I didn't go back and look at my previously recorded maps to confirm, but the name of the map does ring a little bit of a bell with me. So I get a feeling that we had a variant of this map, possibly in FS22 and FS19 as well. Until next time, happy farming.